morning dear children. Now in this video we are going to discuss two properties of the parallel line and then we are going to discuss some examples from the exercise 6.2. So let us start with the first theorem, that is when the lines parallel to the same line, means two lines or three lines are parallel to the same line, then what? Now the lines, one of the theorem, lines which are parallel to the same line, means suppose two lines are given, more than also, but two lines are given and that are parallel to the one same line, then are parallel to each other. Means if two lines are parallel to the same line, then that two lines are also parallel to the each other. For we will take two lines which are parallel. Now line L parallel to line L, and also one of the another line N is parallel to line M. Means the line N is parallel to line L, also line N is parallel to line M. Now what to prove that line L is parallel to line M? Given that line N parallel to line L, also same line N parallel to the line M. Now common line, that is N is parallel to this line as well as this line. Now what to prove? Prove that line L parallel to line M, that we want to prove. For that we need to draw one transversal which is intersecting these three given lines. Okay. Now this is the transversal T intersecting the all given lines. Now for writing the proof, as line L and N are parallel, therefore these angles are equal by the corresponding angle theorem, axiom. Suppose I am naming it 1 and 2. So there, as line L parallel to line N, this implies that angle 1 is equal to angle 2. Please use this symbol of angle. Okay, you don't write like 1 is equal to 2. Okay, so angle 1 equal to angle 2 by corresponding angle axiom. Reasons you have to write. Okay, now also as line N parallel to M, line N parallel to line M, and this is given, this is also given to you. Now therefore, as this means this angle is also equal to this angle, as these two lines are parallel, therefore this angle 2 is equal to angle 3, as these are the corresponding angle. So angle 2 equal to angle 3 as corresponding angle axiom. Okay, you have to write it properly, the reason. Now if you observe that 1 is equal to 2 and 2 equal to 3, therefore this implies that angle 1 is equal to angle 3. Means this angle 1 is equal to angle 3. But these angle 1 and 3 are nothing but the corresponding angle formed by this transversal to line L and line M. Is it? This line, angle 1 and angle 3 are formed by this transversal to line, if you know, suppose line L and M. This implies that line L parallel to line M by again corresponding angle axiom. As there are two axiom, this is the axiom 1 and this one the axiom 2. By this, as these are the corresponding angle, you have to write here reason. These are the corresponding angle formed by the transversal with the line L and M, and this is how you can prove this theorem. Now, one of the property we are going to discuss here, that if a line perpendicular to one of the two given parallel lines. There are two lines which are parallel and one line is perpendicular to the one of the line. Then we have to prove that that line is also perpendicular to the other line. Let us see, it is one of the property and we are going to use while solving the example, though it is not given in your textbook. Okay, so how to prove? What is given? That there are two parallel lines. Okay, so draw the line parallel. These two lines are parallel. L and M are parallel to each other, and one line is perpendicular to one of the line. So I am drawing one of the line. Give the name which is perpendicular to this line. Okay, and intersecting the line M. Suppose this is the line N or T. So given, what is given? Line L parallel to line M, and also given that line N, this is the symbol perpendicular to line L. And what to prove? Prove that is line N is also perpendicular to the line M. Now how to prove that? As you know that this N, line L is nothing but the transversal for the line L and M, and that is intersecting suppose at R and S to the line L and M respectively. Now this angle is 90 degree, is it? This one angle is 90 degree. So we have to prove that this angle is also 90. Now it is very simple. As lines are parallel and N is a transversal, then this angle R is equal to angle S, because both are the corresponding angle. So suppose we name it as A and B. Angle A is equal to angle B because these are the corresponding angle made by this transversal to the line, to the parallel line L and M. So in proof just you have to write that only. That is N is transversal to line L and to line M also. So, but line M parallel to line L, therefore angle A equal to angle B, as these are the corresponding angles. So by corresponding angle axiom 1, angle A is equal to angle B. But angle A is given that 90 degree. This implies that angle B is also 90 degree. So as this angle measure is 90, this implies that line N is perpendicular to the line M. So this property we are going to use. Now let us see some examples. Now let us start with the example, second example of exercise 6.2. In a figure, AB parallel to CD, CD parallel to EF, and one of the ratio, that is this X, Y, Z, that is given in the diagram only, and Y is to Z. This is the Z, okay, Y is to Z. The ratio is 3:7. The angle ratio is given to you, and you want to find the X. Okay, now what is given? AB parallel to CD, CD parallel to EF. That means as AB and EF are parallel to the same line CD, that means that this AB is also parallel to EF. Okay, means these three lines are parallel to each other. Just now we have seen that theorem. Now for the solution. Now given that AB parallel to CD, CD parallel to EF, by the theorem that we have seen, by theorem AB parallel to EF, is it? AB parallel AB parallel to EF. So this angle X and angle Z are the alternate angle by this transversal. Therefore, angle X is equal to angle Z, as they are alternate angles by transversal, let name T, by T. Now X is equal to Z. Also, what is given to you? Y is to Z. So now as angle Z and angle X are equal, so you can replace Z by X. Now Y is to X is given in the ratio 3:7. Why we have written? This is one of the important step. Now these angles are given in ratio, means if Y is 3 times, then the X is 7 times of some particular quantity. So let Y is equal to 3W. As XY already, Z is also used, we use one later. Let the measure of angle A is 3W, 3 into W. So therefore measure of X is equal to 7 into W, 7W. Now observe this, as AB parallel to CD, therefore X and Y are the co-interior angle. Now angle X and angle Y are co-interior angles. So these are the co-interior angle for this two parallel line. Therefore they are supplementary, means angle X plus angle Y is equal to 180 degree by the theorem, alternate angle theorem, by alternate angle theorem. Reason you should write in proper way. Don't write like this, you have to write in complete sentence. Okay, now what is the measure of X? 7W, 7 into W, plus measure of Y is 3 into W is equal to 180 degree. Therefore 10W, adding this, 10W is equal to 180 degree. This implies that W is equal to 18 degree. Now you got the W is equal to 18 degree. So what is the value? We want to find the value of X. Therefore X is equal to 7 into 18. That is 126 degree, and that only you have to find. If they ask you find the Y, then what you are going to do? Y is equal to 3 into 18. Okay, that is 54 degree. Like that you have to solve the examination. This is the one of the most important step. After that, taking Y is equal to some basic equal quantity between them, because that is given in the proportion. So we have taken as a W, 7 into W, sorry 3 into W and 7 into W, that is 7W and 3W. And then by using the alternate this is by not alternate, this is by co-interior angle theorem, because these are the co-interior angle and they are supplementary. Now let us see the third problem from the exercise. In a figure, if AB parallel to CD, AB is given that parallel to the CD, and EF is perpendicular. This EF is perpendicular on CD, means this angle is EF is perpendicular to CD, and GED, angle GED means this angle, this one angle is given 126. You use the pencil for marking the angles. Okay, 126, and we have to find AGE. AGE means this angle, here is A, means we have to find this one angle. Then GEF, where is GEF? GEF means you have to find this one angle also, only this one. And then FGE, that is FGE, we want to find this angle. By using all the theorems up till now, we are just applying that theorem and finding the answer. Now, if you observe this diagram, these are the alternate angle. This angle is alternate to this one. Therefore, and AB parallel to CD. AB parallel to CD and AGE is equal to GED because these are the alternate angle. So in the solution, angle AGE is equal to angle GED. Why GED? Because these are the alternate angle. In given you have to write what? Given that AB parallel to CD. As these two lines are parallel, so alternate angles are equal. Now we got and what is the GED? GED nothing but 126. Therefore, measure of angle AG is 126. Now we have to find this one angle. Now as you know that this is the perpendicular, means this measure is 90 degree. Now angle GED is equal to what we have to put? GEF. GEF is nothing but angle GED minus FED, angle FED. Now GED is 126 degree minus this one, as EF is perpendicular, therefore this is 90 degree. Reason EF perpendicular to CD. So okay, therefore it is 36 degree, isn't it? This one is, now you got this as a 36, this is 126. Now what is remain to find? Angle FGE. Where is that? FGE means you have to find this one angle FGE. Now if you observe that this AB is line and GE is the ray stands on the line, that is GE stands on line AB, means they are forming the linear pair, means angle AGE plus FGE or EGF, angle AGE plus angle EGF, this one GF is equal to 180 degree because linear pair. Now AG is 126 degree plus angle EGF is equal to 180 degree. Therefore angle EGF is equal to 180 minus 126, that is 54 degree. This is how you can solve the problem. For that you have to revise all the theorem. Let us see some more. Let us see the one of the most important example. In a figure, PQ and RS are two mirrors and they are placed. Now AB is the incidence ray and BC is reflected ray for mirror PQ. Now BC is the incidence ray for RS and CD is reflected ray for RS. Now here we have to use the concept of incident angle and reflected angle. So for that, you know that what is the angle of incidence? Angle of incidence is the angle made between the incidence ray and the normal. So we have to draw the normal at B. So draw the normal at B. Okay, extend it to meet here at, suppose at F to RS. Also draw normal at a C to the mirror RS and let it extend to meet PQ. So these are the normals, okay? So this BE is the normal to the PQ. So this angle ABE is angle of incidence, and now ray BC is reflected ray, so it is the angle of reflection. Okay, therefore, but this is for the mirror PQ, so I am denoting it by I1 and R1. Means I1 is the angle of incidence and R1 is the angle of reflection for mirror PQ. Now here again this angle, this is the incidence ray for RS. So this is the angle of incidence I2, and it is the reflected ray CD. So it is the angle of reflection. I denoted it by I2 and R2. Okay. Now what we have to show? We have to show that this AB and CD are the parallel. So if you can observe that AB and CD, if we take the BC as a transversal, and if this angle B is equal to this angle C, these are the alternate angle, and if they are equal, then that two rays are parallel. For this all thing we have drawn the normal. Now you know that by the law of reflection, angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. Okay, now therefore I1 is equal to R1. This is the angle of incidence and this is the angle of reflection. Similarly, this is I2 is equal to R2 by the law of reflection. Now, we have proved this, but we want to prove that I1 plus R1 is equal to I2 plus R2, that we have to prove. Now, as BE is normal to P and it is extended up to the F. So, this is also perpendicular to the RS because PQ and RS are parallel. As PQ parallel to RS and BF perpendicular to PQ as it is normal, this implies that BF is also perpendicular to RS. We have discussed this property already. Similarly, CH is normal, so CH is perpendicular to the RS. This implies that CH is perpendicular to the PQ because PQ and RS are parallel lines and both are the perpendicular. So now this angle is of 90 and this angle is also 90. If you take this FC, observe this FC and these two lines. Okay, which two lines? BF and SC. Okay, and transversal FC. This transversal FC. Angle F equal to 90 degree. Angle C equal to 90 degree. But these are the corresponding angle. These are the corresponding angle, and corresponding angles are equal for BF and SC by transversal FC. Therefore, BF is parallel to SC. This implies that by corresponding angle axiom. Now, these two lines are parallel, and this is now we are taking BC as a transversal. Now, BC is also transversal to BF and CH. Okay, BF and CH. So, these R1 and I2 are the alternate angle, but lines are parallel, as we already proved that BF is parallel to SC. And now BC as a transversal, R1, angle R1 is equal to angle I2 by alternate angle theorem. Now, this is our equation 1 and this is our equation 2. Now, you can observe I1 is equal to R1, R1 is equal to I2 and I2 is equal to R1. So, you can write I1 is equal to I2 is equal to R1 is equal to R2. Now if I make the pair of these two and these two, that is I1 plus I2 is I1 plus R1 and I2 plus R2 are equal. So equals are added to the equal. This implies that angle ABE, this one here if I take ABC, this angle, okay, ABC is equal to angle BCD, angle BCD. Now these two angles are equal. Okay, now for this, these two angles are equal. These two angles are equal. Now these are the alternate angle by the transversal BC to line AB and CD. So by alternate angle theorem, AB is parallel to CD. But these are alternate angles for alternate angles for AB and CD. This implies that AB parallel to CD by alternate angle theorem. Hope so you understood this problem. Go through it. Here you have to use this one and then draw the normals properly. These are the, you have to prove these two normals are parallel to each other. Then take those R1 and I2 equal. So all angles I1, R1, I2, R2 are equal. So if you make the pairs and added them, that are equal. But these are nothing but angle ABC and BCD, and that are the alternate angle for two lines AB and CD with the transversal BC. So hope so you understood it. Go through it, solve the complete exercise. Thank you.